So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. Hold on. Okay, so right, yesterday we were talking about auras. We were talking about, so I'm going to just quickly start off with that. And I hope you guys are able to see my screen. There you go. Okay. So if you remember, we talked about, auras. So there are different kinds of auras. So by now, you will, if you have downloaded your chart, so you will know whether you are a manifestor, generator, projector, or a reflector. So a quick recap. So manifestors have closed and repelling auras. So these people are the only people who are here to initiate. Okay, so by their design, they are here to initiate in this world. They are the actual doers of this world. So they go ahead and start doing, they go ahead and start acting on any idea they have. Okay. The rest of them, they would be waiting. So either waiting to respond to it if it is aligned with their strategy and authority, or they would be waiting for a special invitation. Like I said, for projectors, it's a special invitation with like an actual invitation card on their name. So when I say an actual invitation card on their name, it's like somebody is reaching out to you, specifically to you, and saying, hey, like for example, Amrish is a projector. So I reach out to Amrish and say, hey, Amrish, can you please guide me on how to basically, ensure that I can have maximum reach about this new subject. So that's where Amrish gets recognized, and that's what the projector then responds to. Okay. So manifestors going ahead, informing the world, this is my idea, this is what I'm going to do, and going ahead and doing it, right? Generators, they are basically waiting to respond. Again, like two kinds of generators, which we talked about, pure generators and manifesting generators. Generators who are going to be experts in their field. So typically, if you are a generator who is aligned with your strategy, you will be someone who has been doing one thing all your life, and you are an absolute expert in it. And manifesting generators are the people who are like jack of all trades. So like I am, and they can be good at whatever they're doing. They can also be masters. However, they would be somebody who would be very efficient in their response. So the response of a generator versus a manifesting generator, manifesting generators, they can manifest through with their response very quickly, very efficiently. So efficiency is what is the manifesting generators area, their gift. And generators, experts, very experts. So some people, like you find people who have been, like tailors who've been doing it for like 30 years, and though they know every nuance of their skill or trade. So those kind of people are the generator people. Projector people, so these are the people, again, now these are the non-energy types people, and they don't have any energy of their own. And these people are the people who are best in administrations. These people are people who are very good in systems. These people are very good in managing people. So if you want, for example, an event to be managed, if you want a business to be run, managed where you're running, businesses, systems, groups of people, projectors are the people to go for. Go out, reach out to them, invite them, formally invite them so that they get recognized. And once they get recognized, they will bring in their expertise, because these people understand people. And why is that so? We will see now today, we will see as we go down. And so these people are basically, projector people are people who are able to read energies. So read energy as in actual like fuel, energy as in fuel. So when they see a car and they will be like, okay, I need to put in normal petrol in this, or I need to put in diesel in this, or I need to put rocket fuel in this. So this vehicle needs what kind of fuel? These people, projector people, are the ones who can do that. And these are the people who are also, very great at reading other people, understanding other people. So the manifestor people here, like I said, they're here to initiate. Generator people here to respond and also to know about themselves. So majority of the people on this call, that is my guess, would be generators. So generators and manifesting generators, because these are the people who are very curious about knowing themselves. They're actually here to know themselves. So they start off with that question, who am I? So manifestors, they start off with the question, who am I impacting? Who do I impact? So these people are here to impact the world. Generator people, these are the people who are here to understand themselves. So remember, I talked about creative builders. So these people are building, and you might be thinking right now, hey, I don't know anything. I don't have any such skill, or I'm not a great builder or an architect or anything. Remember, everybody is not supposed to be the same. And this is what the message of human design is. You will find out once, as you go deeper into your design, as you start your deconditioning process, you will begin to appreciate that there is something unique about you. And that is what is the whole intention of what we are doing right now, is to understanding yourselves. So the generators, 70% of the population, remember I talked about, are the people here who are here to understand themselves. So the more they understand themselves, the more they will align with their purpose. So for example, there could be somebody who is, say, a surfer. This guy goes ahead and surfs sea waves, right? And he could be generator, and he could be really good at that. And he goes ahead and builds surfing boards. So he's a builder at that, and he masters that. How well you can surf the waves. So it can be anything. So instead of thinking, how, this is what I am, and, how can, and I start making money, go in the reverse way, start understanding yourself, and then start enjoying your life, and then the money and everything will follow you, right? So projectors, like I said, these are the people who are very efficient in building systems, because they understand energy, because they understand people. They know how to bring people together. They know how to run systems. So that's where their strength and gift lies. And these people are here to ask the question, who are you? So they are not particularly interested in themselves. So they are more interested in understanding people, other people, because that's how they manage themselves, right? And the reflector people, the very rare breed, like we talked about, so they are here to just enjoy themselves. They are here to enjoy themselves, because when they are enjoying themselves, we can know they are the barometer of the whole world. So we can know that we are going towards a revolution, or we are going towards destruction. So these people are, like the samplers of our environment. So the special people, reflectors. Okay, so we did talk about these. Percentage population, and we talked about the strategy. Quickly recapping, manifestors, they are here to inform, and when they're aligned with their strategy, their signature is peace. And if you are a manifestor, and what you're feeling mostly in your life is anger, then that's where you need to start working on your deconditioning, because the anger is basically the not self theme. So not self, something which is not authentic. Authentic is something who you really are. Okay. Generators, you're here to respond. And like somebody was like, is this written in stone, or, can I go ahead? Remember, response is anything. So you hear an idea, you hear, raindrops, and you see a stone, anything. It can be anything which you respond to instead of initiating. So if you respond to life, that's a generator strategy. If you're responding to any song, responding to anything you read on the internet. So I used to just, read something on the internet. I used to read a picture, and I used to get a response. And that's how I used to write on my Facebook. And they used to be very beneficial, post for everyone. So that was a response where I used to feel satisfied. So I was doing it to align with my strategy. And again, the not self theme is frustration. If you're unhappy with your job, unhappy with your relationships, just check what's going on. How did you start that job? Maybe it was an initiation. When I say initiation, it's a mental thing. So manifestors, they are here to initiate. So anything, they get an idea and they just go ahead and act on it. They're not supposed to wait. And generators, if they are initiating, it's all a mental thing. And that mental thing is the not self. And that is where you end up getting frustration. Okay. projectors, they are the people who have to wait for the most. Sometimes they have to wait even for years. And it is correct for them, because unless and until, and waiting does not mean that you are sitting and doing nothing. So when I say, the art of waiting is that you are working, constantly working on yourself. Even the generators also, they're working on themselves. And so the projector is working on their skill sets. They're working on their mastery of the systems, understanding of the systems, understanding of dealing with people. So that's what they've been doing. And then they get the call, and then specifically, somebody asks them, and that, hey, how about we start up this business, or this is something which is there in the market, like how Jeff Bezos did, and signature is success. And the not self theme is bitterness, because when they are not recognized by the people around them, the theme for the projectors is bitterness. So they feel very bitter and they are very impatient. They're like, why nobody is inviting me? Why nobody is asking for my advice? And that's where they need to step back and wait. Yeah. And the reflectors, again, so these, the rare breed, they need to wait for an entire lunar cycle. Okay. And their signature is surprise, getting surprised by who they are every day. So like I mentioned, every day they have a new personality. They become a new person. And as and when they interact with different auras of people, they are gaining new knowledge. They're gaining new experience. And that is what is a surprise for them. Oh, I can be this, who am I today? So they ask this question. And their not self theme is again, disappointment. Okay. We had mentioned about the decision authorities, evolution from the 7 centers to the 9 centers. And this is what we'll be going, deeper today. So I just wanted to do a quick check. Most of the people, I just wanted to know, please put on the Telegram if you have your body graph. So Amrish, can we do a quick check if people have started downloading their body graphs from that website?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. Absolutely. But before that, there is somebody who's posted a couple of questions, and she's normally getting other people and getting their questions answered. Let us see if we can unmute her, send her a request to unmute herself and see what questions she's got, and we can take
right. I just saw that.
People put in their charts. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So
let's get this listener unmuted and see if she can come on video as well. Hello, Neelu. Are you there?
Why did I know that you would be asking me this? No, I'm not coming on video for the simple reason that Amit knows, because I'm manifestor generator. I just spent 2.5 hours on the call with him yesterday. My downtime is still going on.
Right. So
yeah. I get my design.
Your authority needed.
My design. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So,
but yes, I do have questions, and Amrish, thank you for getting me on. But because this rarely happens, I will get myself on video. Okay, only for you, Amrish. Only for you.
Thank you.
And give me a quick second. I'm on my phone. Can you see me? Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. So Neelu, your question is
I've actually posted 3 questions, Amit. So yeah.
Okay.
What do you want me to bring forth first?
The one which I saw was like, does a projector need a written invitation, or the invitation could be from a call, conversation, a thought, and so on? Yes. Right. So basically, understand the difference between generator and projector is generator does not need to wait for an actual person, an actual invitation. So they can respond to something. For example, right now the call is going on, and suddenly there is, when I'm asking, would you like to know more about yourself? Would you like to invest in knowing more about yourself? and the generators are thinking, they are nodding and like, you know, or like right now, right now, maybe I need more information. So that's a generator response when they say, when they're seeing, connecting with that sickle, sound. As for projectors is concerned, these are the people who need to be invited like as a name, so not like written. So this is something which I was mentioning that, but it's like name wise. So if there is a projector, they will need to wait for that recognition. And or for something like, I would be inviting all the people who would really like to ask their questions, and that is where it's an invitation for them, right? So instead of like, it's not like always that there needs to be a name, but they can also be an invitation. So when I'm saying that in the invitation to the crowd, that okay, if anybody has this question regarding themselves, please feel free to raise their hands now. So that's where that is also an invitation, right? So yeah, so that is also an invitation, but it's like more specific to them, more specific to them. Generators, they can respond to anything, but this is like a special call. Yeah. So projectors, it's like a special call. Yeah. Because they're here to guide others people. They're here to manage and guide other people. So it's very people related call, which is there.
Yeah.
That is why it's
correct. Yeah. And I do understand so much of what you say, because yes, this is of keen interest to me. And that's why my last question is kind of like a fun question kind of thing, which is because yesterday in conversation, we heard that Sandra Bullock is a reflector.
Right.
And reflectors have to go through lunar cycles.
Yes.
So the last question that I posted is that does Sandra Bullock take 28 days to decide on a film script?
I really
or 14
don't know.
days or whatever
I really don't know. However, I really don't know. However, so this is something which we need to check out with her. I really don't know. But however, if she's
I'm going to call her right now.
Absolutely. So however, she could be someone. So she could be someone who is taking a long time. Like many actors, what they do is they take a long time to sit through a script. Just going through it, imagining things, and what's going on, and imagining the character, doing some reading on the character, talking to different people, the directors, producers, their co-actors, or anyone, the writers and everything. So they'll be doing all that homework. So that itself is a kind of a waiting. So that waiting does not mean they're not doing anything in any way. So many people like, oh, why do I have to wait? So people relate to wait, waiting is like, there is no action. Waiting does not mean no action. Waiting means you're not initiating. That's the thing. So you are working, you're doing your work, you're sharpening your skills. So I had been doing, so what I had been doing, so I'm a generator, I'm a manifesting generator. So I've been doing this work on myself. I've been on my reconditioning process. I've been doing the learning, experimenting with all those things. And then there was a call where I felt, last year when Amrish called me and I was like, I did not feel ready at the time.
You went with the sequel.
Yeah, I'm eager to share. And this time I was like eager to share. So this was the call which I responded to and something which I felt satisfied about. So that's the thing about, responding. Right. I would love to hear if there are any.
And thank you for that. Thank you for that, because I think that is what I was also trying to further understand, that responding is not about waiting. Responding is responding to everything around you.
Yes.
It's not about the waiting, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. So responding is basically, like I said, a song is playing, for example, and you feel very inspired. You feel very inspired. So for example, a love song is playing and you feel inspired. And at that time you go ahead and open up a dating, site account.
Yeah.
So that's a response. That's a response. So where and if it is aligned with you. So for example, if somebody is an emotional authority and they are a generator and they are seeing, they are listening to a song and then they are, they feel very emotionally excited about it. They're like, wow, I'm feeling so much in love and, excited about it. And then what they do is they go ahead and reach out to a friend or somebody, they just call up a friend. So that's a response. That's the response. But if they are sitting and, just to think, oh, I should do something, that's a mental thing. That's a mental initiation. So understand where you're operating from your authority. So this emotional generator or manifesting generator, when there is an emotional response, that's where they are going ahead and responding to those emotions. They're not starting off with an idea, oh, this is what I should be doing.
Right. Oh, yes. Oh my
Yes.
God. Oh, hello. Aha moment.
You want to share?
Yeah. Yes, I actually do. Amrish, do you have a minute to do that?
Yes, of course.
Thanks, Amrish. And honestly, thank you for getting me on. I was just like posting questions randomly. I had no more expectations or the thing that, oh, my questions will be taken up. So thank you very much for that, firstly. Thank you, Amit, for responding. And yes, my aha moment has been since yesterday with your call and even right now, in the understanding of this is the base space that I come from. And every time that I have felt not heard, and I'm saying this very clearly, every time I have felt not heard, I'm thinking now that I was not heard because I was not coming from a space of my authentic self, from where I was meant to communicate. And I've gone through plenty of this, be it in my workspace, in my family space, in my personal space. I felt very unheard lots of times, despite being a manifestor generator, by the way. But yeah, what you're saying makes sense, and I greatly appreciate this. Thank you. Thank you. It's turned the story for me.
So I'll just share, what you said is very, very profound, Neelu. And I would say that many people among us would be experiencing this, feeling unheard. And like for the projectors, it'll be feeling unrecognized, right? So when you're feeling unheard, and if you're not aligned with your authority, like you need to know what's your authority. So if it is, for example, if it's an emotional authority, you would be responding to how you're feeling emotionally. When you're feeling, high, when you're feeling excited, when you're feeling peaceful and calm, and then when you are responding to anything, any stimuli which is coming from outside, it's a completely different thing. The reason being, when you're aligned with your authority, there is no resistance from outside.
Right. So bang on, Amit. There is no resistance. Correct.
There's no resistance from outside. So when
they're willing to hear you, right?
Yes. When you're following your, when you're following your, for example, your authority is, suppose the authority is a gut-based authority, and you go ahead and ask your, partner. Okay. So like my partner and we both are sacral response. Okay. So now both of us cannot initiate. So what do? So we ask, so would you like to, give me a hug? And I'll be like, and
yes, that's a yes.
Yes, that's a yes. And then, what I need to do, so it's not like I've mastered this thing. Okay. I need to do it because there's a lot of deconditioning going on. So what I need to do at that moment is ask my partner, would you like to receive a hug?
Interesting.
And then the partner says, oh, wow. Then that energy which is aligned is amazing, because then both of us are following our sacral authority, and then the alignment is amazing.
Right. And can I just ask very quickly, Amit, this doesn't mean, right, that just because I am a certain type or authority type and my partner or my children or my family or my friends, anybody who's not of the authority type or strategy type or profile type that matches mine, it doesn't mean that we can't be compatible. Does it mean that? It doesn't mean that, right? It just means that you have to understand this and figure your life out.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
See, what is compatibility all about? Compatibility is number one. So there is a complete reading on that, which is like a relationship reading, which is completely separate. So what we do is we take out the two charts and then we see how, so the strategy is something which is individual, very individual thing. So what we see is we go into those details of the centers. So we talked about the centers, the 9 centers. So we look at those, 9 centers and how it is. So somebody has got a defined center and somebody's got an undefined center. And that's when there is a kind of an attraction. So when you're talking about compatibility, this is what it is all. So you are naturally aligned with certain people and you're naturally repel certain people. So I'm not talking about the aura over here. So if you're aligned,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is layers of understanding. So the first one which I talked about is the aura, right? The general, which is aura, which is your type. So then I talked about is aligning with your strategy. So if you're not following your strategy, what is happening? Resistance. Right? And the not self theme. If the manifestor is not following, they are finding a lot of resistance. People will try to control them, or they will be trying to control people. What happens? Resistance. When resistance happens, the manifestor is feeling angry, the generator is feeling frustrated, the projector is feeling bitter.
And this is where you come to loggerheads with each other.
Yes, this is where it is. And that is what is resistance all about. So now think about, there is a group where there are 3 people, standing, because reflectors are very rare, I would say, with due respect to them. So there's a manifestor who goes ahead and initiates and he informs people. He says, let's go for a movie. I'm booking the tickets. Who wants to go for a movie? And there's no response. Then he says to this person, to the projector, Amrish, do you want to go for a movie? And the Amrish says, yeah. And she, the manifestor asks Neelu, would you like to go for a movie? And Neelu goes, mm-hmm. And this is what is alignment. This is what is alignment. And think about an example where the generator or the projector is impatient and the projector says like, let's go for a movie. And the manifestor is like, I mean, who gave you the authority to ask me about that? That is where it starts. That is where the friction starts. I think you should go for a movie. You're so pissed off. You have a bad mood. You should go for a movie. And that's where the manifestor gets conked off. It's like, how dare you? And what do you think is, that this person is very rude or arrogant or anything, but they are being themselves. These manifestors are being themselves. They are not here to be told what to do. They are here to inform the people.
Right.
And today, as we go into these, into the centers, we'll see what it means. How things are working out. So once we go layer development. So amazing discussion, Neelu. Thank you for this. And
no, thank you, Amit, for this so much. And weirdly enough, because you brought up this, somebody, the manifestor saying to the projector, do you want it for the movie? By the way, this reverse has happened between Amrish and me. It's a incident that goes back to the first time that we'd ever met, which is more than 20 years ago. And both of us are very different in our human design. And he did something. He said, let's go for this movie. Like he took me, even though we were this thing. And I think this is something that you, I think, have a part of your profile with the reading, which is where that despite the fact that there are 4 particular types, every type gets differentiated because of the profile that you have. There's something else that happens there.
So,
there's something
like
else. It's part of your reading, right?
Right. So when we start off with the basic aura, okay. So for example, there is a generator. So a generator with an emotional authority is different. A generator with just emotional and sacral authority is going to be different. Or a projector. Projectors are many different types. Projector can be splenic projector. They can be emotional projector. They can be mental projector like Amrish. So there are different, types of people and there are different authorities. So like
Right.
we talked about in all the different authorities, the solar plexus, sacral, splenic, and all those things. So everybody is different and unique. And this is what it is when you start investing in yourself and understanding who you are and start aligning with yourself. The result is what? The result is peace, satisfaction, success, and surprise,
Right.
which are your signature themes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amit and Amrish. Thank you for bringing me on. I was not expecting this at all. And thank you even more so for allowing me to spend the amount of time that I've just spent asking questions to Amit. And Amit, thank you. Thank you, both of you, Amit and Amrish, ANA. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me go back to my share. Okay, so now this is what we had talked about, how these centers are designed. We talked about the 9 centers. Now let's go a little bit deeper into these centers one by one. Okay, so the first center is the head center. Okay, and this is the center where you are actually receiving all your inspirations from. Okay, and this is also what they call as is the pressure center, because all the people who have this center defined or undefined, these are the areas where you're feeling the pressure to think. Okay, and this is also when people are defined, have this defined head center, then their inspiration is coming in a fixed way. Okay, and there is also a mental pressure to resolve your own issues, your own questions. Okay, so they are also they can be questions, they can be doubts, they can be confusion, and this is where these people are like mentally inspiring for other people. So that's where this whole inspiration, this head center, is all about inspiration. And when this center is undefined, this inspiration is coming from outside. So think about it like the defined and undefined center. I give the example is think about a radio station. Okay, so you have the FM radio station, which is constantly sending you programs on a fixed frequency. So if it is like 91 FM, so the 91 FM is playing all the time old songs. So it's a very fixed frequency, and all those programs which they were talking about, the classic songs and old songs, and all about their singers and their lives and everything. So the 91 frequency, the radio frequency, that station is constantly emitting frequency out into the world. Now that is something like a defined center. So the defined center is where there is a reliable information, there is a reliable something which you can trust. Okay, and this is constantly influencing the world outside. And think about the undefined center. Okay, so the undefined center would be where something like, now this is an undefined head center and a defined the next center, but this is an undefined head center. Now this is the center where, think of about it like a radio receiver. It could be in your car. And what you do is you tune into certain radio frequencies. You can tune into 91 FM, you can tune into 95 FM or 104 FM, any radio frequency you can tune into. So the open or the undefined head centers are the ones which are basically like receivers. So any of the centers, defined, undefined. So defined is like a radio transmitter. It's like a radio station, which has a fixed frequency, fixed way of being, and something which is very reliable. And they are impacting the world. They are influencing the world. And the undefined centers are where they are like radio receivers. And they are open to any kind of frequency. So like if I have an undefined head center and I am a radio receiver, I can be tuned to 91 FM, I can be tuned to 95 or 104 FM. Clear? Okay. So for the undefined centers, the inspiration is coming from outside, and they can identify who is inspiring and who is not, right? So that is about the undefined center people. Okay. Next coming is the Ajna center. This is your center for mental awareness. This is also your mind, mental consciousness, mind consciousness. And here, what you're doing is basically you got the ideas, you got the inspirations from the head center, and this is where you're conceptualizing. This is where you're processing, analyzing, which is you're researching on those ideas, you're investigating on those ideas. So the defined Ajna center people, this is what they are doing. Their function is they are processing it, they're conceptualizing that idea, and they're very good at it. So these people are people who enjoy a lot of research, okay, and they have a fixed way of thinking, which can be something which is aligned or not aligned with their authority, right? And the undefined Ajna center people, the undefined Ajna center people are the people who would be who don't have a consistent way of thinking. Okay, so they are basically people who are having a flexible mind. They have a flexible mind. So I'm talking about this center over here, guys. Okay, so they have a flexible mind and they can analyze, they can research in different ways. They don't have a need to research as such as much as a defined people, and they are always taking in information like a sponge. Okay, so their mind is a very flexible mind and always taking in information as a sponge. Okay. So the next center is the throat center. Now, this is the center which is, as you would have guessed it, this is something about talking. This is speaking, communicating. Okay. So if a person has a throat center defined, they have, like you would have guessed it, a fixed and reliable way of communicating. And this function of this throat center is also about manifestation. So like in the Hindu chakra system, we talk about the throat center is a center which is also the center for manifestation. So this is where you can manifest in form of words or actions. So all the people who have the defined throat center, like the manifestors are the people who have the defined throat center. Necessarily, their type has the defined throat center. And these people are here to manifest. These people here, the doers. And then you also have the manifesting generators who also have the throat center defined. So these people are also the doers over here who are here to manifest. Okay. All the other people who have the undefined one, they are not necessarily here to manifest. They are here to be in the supporting role. Okay. And so when you have, the undefined throat center, so like this would be an undefined throat center. Okay. And this is where people have a lot of pressure to talk and a lot of pressure to get attention. So if you look at your chart and if you have an undefined throat center, you would be nodding your head when I say, are you the person who is always trying to get others' attention? Because these are the people who are like, I want to talk. So these are the people who will always be talking out of turn. This is the people who would be offering so much free advice, and when it is not aligned with their authority, decision authority and the strategy, they will meet resistance. So I know someone who is very close to me, and so when she gives advices, which is unasked for, that is what happens. There's a lot of resistance. And her complaint is, you guys are always shutting me down. But it is not about that we are asking, this person to shut up. What we are saying is align with your strategy. And so however the person's strategy is, that's how they follow, and the authority they follow. And then they speak up. Like for the projectors, it is going to be, they are invited to talk. And the generators, they respond based on, whatever is the stimuli is, and then they respond and then they talk, right? Instead of just going ahead and saying just for the sake of it, just to get attention. So that will be a not self theme. Okay. And so Amrish, would you want to check if there are any questions so far?
Let's finish this. Let's go through this,
okay,
and then we'll go to the readings.
Okay. Okay. So the next center is the G center, and this is the center. This is kind of the, if you remember, we talked about the magnetic monopole, the personality crystal, the design crystal and the magnetic monopole, the one who's the driver. So this is your G center. This is the seat of the driver. Okay. And this is also your compass in life. And the defined G center people, they have a fixed direction in the life. They have a fixed identity, they have fixed idea of love. And it can be both positive and negative, remember, and they in the direction also. So either they can be completely misdirected in life, or they can be directed in the right direction, which is aligned with them. But they have a fixed direction, fixed idea of love, fixed identity in their life. To all the people who have the defined G center. And the undefined G center people would be the people who have inconsistent direction in their life. So one day they'll be going in this direction, one day they'll be going in this career, one day they're taking up this course, one day they're taking up other course, and they're always trying to seek love from outside. They're always trying to be someone who they are not, and they are always having this inconsistent identity in life. So these are the people with undefined G center, right? So the next one is your heart center or the ego center. Now this is the center of ego and willpower. So whenever I say, I have the will to do, wherever there is a will, there is a way. This is the center for them. So the defined ego center people or the heart center people are the ones who are having they can have a healthy or unhealthy self-esteem, but they have a fixed sense of self-esteem and self-worth. So if they are on the healthy side, this is something which they can hold on to, and they can also have a consistent willpower to do things. So if they set out to do something using sheer willpower, they can get it done. So this is the defined will center people. And the undefined will center people would be the ones where they are inconsistent with their willpower, and they're also not designed to prove themselves. So if you remember, I talked about the self-worth and self-esteem, which is all about how you're proving yourself to the world. So these are also the people who are most often found struggling with trying to prove their worth, be it in relationships, be it in the whole career field or anywhere. These are the people who are trying to do extra, who are trying to prove themselves. So these are also the people who would be like working long hours and getting exhausted in life just because they're trying to prove to their boss that I'm worthy of your appreciation. Yeah. And the next center is your solar plexus center, which is also the emotional center. And this is the center of fertility. This is the center of vitality. This is the center of sexuality. And this is where you are, I'm sorry, hold on, solar plexus. Yes, so this is the, this is center for emotions. So this is center for emotions, solar plexus or emotional center. And this is where you have the entire spectrum of emotions. You have the entire spectrum of all the moods which are there. When you're seeing somebody who has a defined emotional center person, this is a person who is very moody. They have the whole ebb and flow of emotions going on throughout the day. Okay. This is also the center for desires. This is all the center for, sensitivities, right? And this is the center where, like I said, a lot of emotions are there. And whenever somebody has this defined solar plexus center, by default, their decision authority becomes the solar plexus. So these are the people who need to consult their emotions for making any decisions. And the way the emotions run is they are always changing. They're always flowing in waves. So these are the people who would always need to wait for that emotional wave to settle down. And once the emotional waves settle down, this is how they would be, working in their life, living in their life. So they always need to be conscious of that. Yes, there are always going to be the emotional ebbs and waves going on. And the people who have an undefined emotional center, so this is how it will be like undefined emotional center. These are the people who are very empathetic, which means they are the people who can truly, when they use the terms empath, these are the people who are really able to understand others' emotions. And they mostly avoid the emotional decisions and always getting impacted by emotions of other people. Okay.
Amit,
And yes.
I'm just wondering if we can do this while looking at some charts and talking to people and figuring out if they're able to relate to some of this information.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do that.
Would you? There is somebody. The first person actually who put up her chart is a lady called Aparna More. I'm not sure if Aparna is on this call.
Okay. Let's take it.
Aparna, I can't see you with your name on Zoom. Is there a different name that you have on Zoom? I can't.
And if you can also share.
Should we look at Simran Mishra? I can see Simran Mishra with a defined sacral. Was that defined sacral? What was the last one that we looked at?
Simran Mishra. Yeah, I can see the chart.
Shall we get her on the call as well?
Sure, sure.
Just give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen
Mm-hmm.
and see if we can get Simran on this call. That's my screen. Send a request to Simran to unmute herself. Right.
Righty.
Okay. Yeah, Amit, you want to tell us what this means? So she's got a defined sacral. Is that correct?
She's got a defined sacral. So, okay, let's start from the beginning. So she has an undefined head center.
Okay, which is this?
Yes, undefined head center.
Okay.
So if is Simran on the call?
Yes, she is here.
Yeah. So Simran, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So Simran, let's ask you certain questions. Are you somebody who is always, reacting to pressure to resolve the questions in your head?
Mostly, yes.
Okay. And all that pressure is also driving you to make decisions, mental decisions, leading you to initiating and acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, is this something where you're feeling as if something is wrong with you? Like, because of the whole mental inconsistency, like, all the time I feel that I'm not sure of myself.
Not really, but I think a lot.
Okay. And there is also a lot of doubt and confusion sometimes when you're trying to make a decision.
Yes.
So these are all the signs of an undefined center.
Right. And what would be the, for want of a better word, I'm not sure if strategy is the right word, but what would be the strategy or what would be the way for Simran to go about doing things, to make her life easier, to achieve things that she wants to achieve, to be happy and so on? So
if you can see from a chart, her decision authority is the emotional decision authority because the emotional center is defined. So she would be someone who would be feeling a lot of emotions throughout the day.
Right.
Simran, would that be correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yes. So she would be going through all those different kinds of emotions, different waves of emotions at every time. And this is what she needs to do it. So anytime if Simran is making any spontaneous decision, on the spot decisions, she will find that after some time, that decision goes like completely different. So she'll be like, at one moment, if she tries to make a quick decisions, and then after some time, she'll be like, no, I don't want this.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Simran, what you need to do is you need to follow your emotional authority. And I don't know how your environment has been, in your house, in your home, while growing up. Were you allowed to express your emotions? Were you allowed to feel your emotions? Or you were someone who was, asked to suppress your emotions? How was it with you growing up?
I was allowed to express my emotions, but I never did it.
Yeah, and that's because you have an undefined throat. So because you have an undefined throat, you are not here somebody who will be openly expressing. However, if you would be with someone who has an aura which has a defined throat, Like right now, I have a defined throat. So you would be able to express your emotions and your thoughts easily. Does that make sense?
It does.
So this is what you need to do. You need to wait. Simran, you need to wait. You need to really wait. So like even I need to wait for a response. What you need to wait is you need to wait for your emotions to settle down. So like, when I say, when you're feeling very happy, don't commit. And when you're feeling really sad, don't make any decision. Wait for the entire wave to settle down. And over a period of time, when you see consistently there is an answer yes, that's where you go ahead and act upon it.
Okay.
Is there any major
This
decisions
a
in your
lot
life?
whenever I am very happy and excited. Do commit a lot and realize that, okay, I can't do this much.
Yes.
To do, so I can't do all this.
Yes.
When I am sad, I take decisions and then I regret it. So it happens a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And how does it feel to become aware of this right now?
It feels great. Earlier, I used to think maybe it's only in my mind, but now I know that no, it is who I am and I need to change few things.
Beautiful, beautiful. And remember, this is who you are for your entire life. You'll always be, you were born to be, and you'll always be an emotional being. So whenever anybody is telling you, oh, you're taking too much time, you have to say that this is who I am. So you'll be a person who will always be taking time. And once you have that emotional, clarity, so there's never going to be a time when you'll have absolute clarity. There's always going to be like 95, 97% that, okay, this is what's going on. But once you have a consistent over a period of time, you feel that, yes, my emotions are telling me that this is a good idea, then you will feel that energy available to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Somebody, if you want to take any other callers?
I thought that was very empowering, Amit. I mean, just to know how you're built, what your system's like, and the advice on what kind of actions to take. Wait for things to settle down. That gives her the power to know what to do next.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And imagine once you understand that every decision which you're making in your life, it's about emotions, and you have to wait.
Yeah.
There can never be a hurry in her life. So this is somebody who is not designed to be spontaneous.
Sorry. Actually, the next one is kind of similar. There is somebody called Jyotsna. We'll get Jyotsna also on the call. And in the meantime, let's see if we can find her design. That's the one. That's on your screen now.
Yeah,
wow.
I am here.
Thank you, Jyotsna.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks, Amit.
Hello, Jyotsna.
Yeah, hi, Amit.
So I'm seeing something which is, I'm just saying, hold on. So this is like a chart where you have a completely open solar plexus.
Yeah, it said in the thing that it has a sacral authority. That's all.
Yes,
generator. Like yesterday when I attended the call, I could figure out I am a generator.
Awesome.
But when I did this body graph thing, something called sacral authority. So I'm just trying to figure out through your talk.
Yes.
What exactly does that mean?
Yes. So remember, the sacral authority is the one where you have the sacral center. So the sacral center, the one which is colored red. That's your sacral center.
Right.
That's your sacral center. So you are somebody who needs to constantly be in touch with your gut feeling.
Right.
So remember, I was talking about, me and my partner, we are sacral beings.
Correct.
So sacral beings would be responding to specifically yes or no questions.
Okay.
So if I, ask you, have your partner, make a list of questions, which are pointed questions, yes or no questions.
Correct.
Okay. Like if I ask you, and what you need to do is you need to, instead of saying yes or no, connect to your sacral center. So you could put a hand on your belly, okay,
Right.
and then connect to your sacral center and then respond with the sounds or
Correct.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is conditioning when you say, yes or no, like I
Yeah.
mentioned in my call yesterday.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I got it.
So yeah, make a list of all those questions. And like, for example, I'm just going to ask you a very random question. Jyotsna, are you having fun with this call?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So right now the conditioning is to say, yes, absolutely, because the world says that, yes, you need to. But yes, that sound,
Right.
that is a sound which we need to start focusing on.
Focusing on. Correct.
Because
Got
mostly
it.
people feel that, if you're not saying yes or no, it's disrespectful.
Okay.
But what we need to start doing is honoring our authority.
Right. Got it. So how does it help? Like,
So
if
once
you-
you start making decisions, so for example, let's see the undefined centers over here. Okay. So you have a completely undefined solar plexus. If you see the
the
one
yellow
which is,
thing? The
no,
yellow?
the
No.
undefined. So all the colored ones are the defined. That is
defined.
who you are.
Okay.
The colored one is yourself. That is who you are. This is how you're defined. This is your consistent and reliable way of being.
So what's the yellow thing?
So the yellow thing is your G center.
G center. Okay.
That's your identity. So you have a fixed identity. You have an idea of who you are
Right.
in life. So you're not somebody who will be like, one day you'll be, acting with this person, other way, completely different person.
Not at all.
Every day you're consistently, you have like a fixed personality which you have.
Right.
So that is what the G center is all about,
Okay.
right? So, but what's interesting is when we are, for example, making decisions based out of the mind and all these undefined centers. If you start from the head, mind, throat. So you, like, the throat is undefined for you. Many a times you would like to, you would end up saying something which you'll regret. So when you're saying something out of turn, like nobody has asked for your advice, but you go ahead and initiate again, which is a mental thing that, oh, I should say this. Oh, I need to tell this person this. That's where the initiation is going on. And whenever you do that, there's going to be resistance from outside. There's a 50-50 probability. The person is, being polite and they say, okay. Otherwise, if somebody is close to you in your family, they'll be like, they'll be responding with resistance. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, but this is not happening. I mean, I've not faced this kind of thing, but I know what you're saying because someone close to me has, I know who's like that when you were talking about it earlier, but this particular thing, that's why I was a little wondering, because I feel my communication channels are pretty open, and I don't give like advice, or I just, I'm able to communicate, and people tell me that that's your forte. I don't give unnecessary advice and things like that.
So Jyotsna, what the thing is, the undefined centers are also the centers for our maximum wisdom.
Maximum?
Wisdom.
Okay.
So what you have done is basically you have mastered different ways of communication.
Right.
So when somebody with an undefined center is living a healthy state, like what you're doing is living in a healthy state. So every center has a healthy state and an unhealthy state.
Right.
This is what we cover in the report. So what we cover in the report is this, like, for all your centers, are you living a healthy state or an unhealthy state?
Right. It can be either defined or, so my question was this, if we work upon ourselves, so can you change the undefined to a defined form? Any of these centers? No.
So this is who you are throughout your life. This is what it's like your vehicle.
Right.
This is your vehicle which you have for the entire life.
Okay.
And what you need to do is how to drive it efficiently.
Right. Okay.
So think about a vehicle which is driving in a traffic and not hitting anyone.
Okay.
That's efficiently driving your vehicle. But if somebody is driving a vehicle and they are accelerating, putting a lot of brakes, banging into other cars, how is it? Right. Everybody will be, shouting them, abusing them, and meeting a lot of resistance. People will come to even beat you down.
Right.
So that is what is living from not self.
Okay.
So when you're driving efficiently in life, so if you're having a great career, great relationship and everything, great health and everything, more or less you are tuned into your vehicle.
Okay.
But then the reason, then what you need to work on is the next level in the evolution of you.
Right.
How you can best go and get the potential of it. So then it is about understanding others.
Right.
It's about going deeper into your evolution.
Got it.
Right? So we work on the health, we work on the evolution, we work on the whole cellular level transformation. So it's a vast. Human design is vast. We get into the sleeping, we get into the eating part, we get into relationships. Then you start looking at the relationships. So I am in alignment, with my centers. Like for example, if I ask you, how good are you with emotions?
So
Is there an area where you need to?
I used to be very, very sensitive and emotional, but again, I've done a lot of work actually on myself. So I think Amrish and I'm an architect by profession. But the last 4-5 years, I realized that's not like you said yesterday, exactly the same thing. I've changed. I got into health and healing and stuff like that. So done a lot of healing work. Finally, I've done this yoga therapy and naturopathy course. So whenever I'm in that side, I'm very happy and peaceful. And the moment you take me back to architecture and corporate work and jobs, then I get out of my that zone. So I've worked a lot. I do a lot of pranayam and meditations. I feel that emotional aspect again I'm able to handle now.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. And how about your self-esteem and self-worth? Are you able to charge people?
That's where I'm lacking. Yeah, I've not worked on the self-esteem part. Yeah.
Yes. So that comes from your undefined heart center or the will center.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's something which we can look at.
Right.
And remember, this report is the starting point. Once we understand where you are, like I talked about the self-awareness part, where you are and your potential.
Right.
And using the right strategies. Okay. Using the right strategies and how you start implementing this strategy and authority in your day-to-day life.
So
and any issues which you have for the conditioning of all your, undefined or open centers, that's where we then work on in the subsequent.
Right. So that's where you come in. Like you consult on these aspects.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when I started working, this is where I started, finding all those tools to help me decondition. Right. So this is a starting point for you.
Yeah. So that's a strategy. So in general, there are tools, or how do you like?
Yes.
There are tools.
Yes. So, but this itself, there's so much knowledge in your design itself. Once you start, going through that, so much knowledge in your design itself, with each center we go through, how is the healthy state for a undefined head like you have, or healthy state for an undefined ajna center, a throat center, and all these centers, and then combined with your defined centers also. Okay? So once we understand that, that's where we start using in everyday life.
Right. Wonderful. So just that sacral authority is something very important in my
Absolutely. So the more and more you start using your authority, the more and more you get good at it.
Right.
So remember, whenever you're sitting and making any decisions, those are mental decisions. Only whenever somebody is asking you, when there's a response, when somebody is engaging with you, like I used to think, if I'm going to just write on a piece of paper and ask myself, do I want this? But that's a mental activity.
Correct. I got exactly what you're trying to say.
Yes, you would need somebody. So we are generators, projectors, reflectors. There are always people who need somebody.
No wonder I need, I always have a group, somebody around. I like to have somebody around. I can't be absolutely alone.
We are not designed to be alone. We are not designed to function alone. Only the manifesto people, they can do their own business and not bother about the world.
That gut feeling which you say of the sacral, that's it's something that you can develop, or you have to just understand it.
Yes. So something which, the more and more you connect with your sacral, the more and more active it becomes.
Okay.
So what has happened is, the whole conditioning point is, the environment has never recognized that you have a sacral authority.
Okay.
So our Parents never knew it. They had no way to know about it.
Right.
Okay. This whole knowledge is like 30, 35 years old. So they had no idea to know. Our grandparents had no idea to know, right? So now what we start doing is, once we know this, we start engaging with our spouses, our partners, our friends, and let them ask. Like if you're going out for, lunch, for example, in a restaurant, instead of just looking at the menu and then saying, okay, I want this, ask the person over there, the waiter or your friend, to just read out and ask, do I want this? Do you want this? Do you want South Indian? Do you want, Indian?
Right.
Do you want Chinese? Let them ask and see and respond. Instead of a mental decision, respond from your gut.
Okay.
And just say like, or
Okay.
Then you will see. And then when you're having that food or whatever you're doing, watching a movie or anything, you will see a huge difference when it is aligned with your decision authority.
Wow, that's
Amazing.
something. Yeah, amazing. Really amazing.
It is. I mean, I get goosebumps, thinking about all the times where I've made, huge decisions just by, and the mind freaks out.
Yeah.
Remember, the mind wants to get control. The mind wants to, initiate. Mind wants to do all those things. And to trust your body's intelligence, the mind needs to rest.
Yeah.
So when you're sitting and then you're like, I should do something. That's your mind talking. Right?
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Really, it was an amazing, like I can feel it, like as you say, goosebumps.
Awesome. And would you like to get a detailed reading?
Yeah. That's why I said I'll connect with you soon.
Awesome. Awesome.
Really nice.
Okay. Look forward to seeing you.
Yes, definitely.
So,
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Amrish. Yeah. Thank you.
Amit, would you like to take a look at some more?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You want to tell me which ones you want to look at? So we cover a different spectrum of people.
Yeah, I am just seeing. Okay, so we have actually. I think mostly there are. So there's someone, Priyanka Mahajan.
I'm not sure if Priyanka Mahajan is on the call. There is a Priyanka on the call. It's possibly the same person. Just give me a moment. That's the one, right? Okay. Let's see if it's the same Priyanka. I'm sending a request to unmute. Priyanka, hi.
Hi, Amit. But I wanted to tell that I'm not Priyanka Mahajan.
You're not. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
So Amit, let's go with anyone who is ready right now.
Okay, I'm gonna pick somebody at this one. Let's look at Vinita Chadda.
Okay.
Vinita is on the call.
Hi, Amrish, and hi, Amit.
Hold on, Amish, I can't see.
I've shared my screen.
Okay. Can you just zoom in a little?
Sure.
The name is Vinita, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Vinita, what is your decision authority?
Actually, I was not on the call yesterday, so
Okay. So when you downloaded this, what did you find?
I just got this diagram and I just forwarded it.
Okay. So your authority is the splenic authority over here.
Okay.
Okay. And so I would like to know, how do you currently make decisions?
When I make decisions, I always feel whether I've made the decision right or not.
I'm sorry, I did not understand that. So you make a decisions based on?
No, I make a decision, but then I falter, like whether I made the decision right or is it wrong. I always doubt.
So is this something that you're making decisions using your logic, that this is a logical thing to do?
No, I think it is more of the other, not logical.
Okay. Okay. Then how do you make decisions based on emotions?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So see, what happens is, so you are not there on the call. So I'll just explain to you. If you see the colored centers over here, starting, were you on the call today?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So the colored centers from the top, the one which is in yellow, that's a head center. Below that is a ajna center. Hold on. Yes. So below that is the throat center. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have the G center, which is white.
Yeah.
And next to it, a small triangle, which is the heart center, which is again white.
Okay.
And then again, there is another triangle, which is facing the left side, which is white.
Yeah.
Now that center is the solar plexus center.
Okay.
Okay. And that is also the center, which is the center for emotions.
Okay.
Now what happens is, you would be somebody who is very empathic.
Yes.
So somebody who can very easily pick up others' emotions. Now what happens is, when it is an undefined center, the information from your body which is available to you is unreliable and untrustworthy. Okay. As compared to if you see your ajna center, which is the second center from the top, you have a very fixed way of thinking. You have a consistent and reliable way of thinking. Okay. In fact, you have a brilliant mind. You have a very active mind. All the time, your mind will be active 24/7.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Always thinking, always thinking. You have a very brilliant mind, and most of the time, whatever thoughts are coming to your mind, you are blurting them out.
Yeah.
Right?
True. Yeah.
Yes, because you have a brilliant mind and you are constantly sharing your thoughts with others. However, how is this working out for you? So like you said, the decisions which you're making for yourself are not aligned. The reason being, this mind, which is a very brilliant mind, actually you're a genius mind, but that mind is not for you. It's for helping others.
So true, yes.
But for your own self, your decision making comes from your instincts, from your splenic center, the one which is the triangle, which is facing towards the colored triangle, if you see.
Yeah.
Facing towards the right.
Yeah.
Now that center is a splenic center.
Okay.
So right now what you've been doing, you've been using your mind, your ajna center, okay, which is a defined mind, conceptualizing and everything, a brilliant mind. You've been talking and you'll be using it for others, which is working great for others, by the way. Okay. However, your decisions you are making from an undefined center, which is unreliable and untrustworthy. And this is where, whenever you're making your decisions based on your emotions, there's always a probability of them going wrong. So what you need to do instead is you start connecting with your instinct. Okay. And instincts are something which are very subtle. So you are somebody who is a very intuitive person. Your intuition is very strong.
I don't think my intuition is so strong.
And this is the reason why, because you're not exercising it.
Okay.
See, when you have a very active and genius mind, so think about it, for example, that there is a driver, there's a
Okay.
chauffeur,
Okay.
and he is an expert driver.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells you, ma'am, I'm going to take you wherever you want to go.
Okay.
And he keeps suggesting to you, ma'am, this is where you should go. This is the
Okay.
movie you should watch. Everything that driver is telling you.
Okay.
And you are somebody who is not sure of yourself.
True.
And what do you end up doing?
Yeah.
You end up listening to that driver because you are not trusting yourself. You're like, I'm unsure. I'm making decisions based on my emotions and they are not helping me. So I will listen to someone who is like reliable. And of course, it's reliable for you. It's defined. However, the driver is not supposed to make decisions for you. You will be the telling driver where I want to go today. Then you figure out the best way, best route to go there. I don't care which route you take, but the decision needs to come from you. And for you, what you need to do is you need to start trusting your instincts, and instincts are very, very spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say spontaneous, think about a decision where something, where you had to take a decision where your whole body was like, no, I don't want to do this. Can you think of a situation in your life where your body had a strong response?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you relate to any situation in your life?
Right now, I'm not getting any.
Okay. So what you need to start doing from now on is start listening to your body.
Okay.
And your splenic center is someone, a center which is very subtle. Now, what you need to do is whenever you have a decision to make it spontaneously. Don't think.
Okay.
Now, it's a very big thing, which I'm telling. Don't think. So whenever you have to make a decision, go with your body. In the now, your body's intelligence is going to guide you whether you want to go ahead or not. Trust that instinct.
Okay.
For example, somebody is telling you, let's go to this place and everything. And mentally you're thinking that, yeah, I should listen to this person. I should be obliging, this person. Oh, this person has done so much for me and everything. Oh, don't want to displease this person. Remember, you are somebody, an undefined emotional center. So you would be someone who hates confrontation.
Yeah, I can't say no to anybody.
Exactly. And this is what is going to happen. So when you can't say no to somebody and you have a genius mind, your mind is building up strategies like, oh, I need to please this person. But your body, if you listen to your body in that moment, your body will be like, no. The body will give you hints. The whole body will give you hints.
Okay.
And those hints are very subtle and they are very spontaneous and they are also very momentary. Okay. So for example, if you just tune into your body at the time, instead of your mind which is actively chattering, just disengage from your mind and just tune into your body. Is your body relaxed or is your body tensed up? If your body is tensed up, it's telling you no.
Okay.
And if your body is relaxed, very relaxed, and then the body is like, yeah, let's go. And you will be somebody who makes decisions very spontaneously.
Okay.
So if you start actually distrusting your mind for your decisions, use your mind for everybody else.
Okay.
But for yourself, listen to your body, because your splenic center is spread all over your body. It's giving you very subtle hints. However, this has a very low voice as compared to other, authorities. The splenic authority has very low and very subtle voice.
Okay.
And when you start listening to this instinct, you would see how your life will change. For example, you are also somebody who does not have a fixed identity or direction in life.
Yeah.
Right. However, if you experiment with different relationships, experiment with different careers, experiment and make spontaneous decisions, in the now decisions, you will see a sea of change.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Okay. How was that for you?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm already feeling empowered.
Beautiful. That's the intention. That's the
Thank you.
intention.
Thank you so much.
Hope to see you on a detailed reading.
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, Amrish, I think we are running close to the time. Do you want to take another reading, or is this we can call it today?
Would you be okay to look at the group after this call and do some readings on the group as well and share some information? Would that be
Sure,
okay?
sure. I would be happy to.
Let's do that.
Okay. I think we have a question coming from Monica.
I'm sending her a request to unmute herself.
Okay.
Hi, Monica.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. Hi, Monica.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Yeah. A very good evening.
Good evening.
See, I heard you regarding the different parts of the body and the chakra to be activated and defined. You said to one person, like her throat chakra was not activated. You told her, like, you often go and say something which you're not supposed to say.
So Monica, let me just interrupt you here. I'm not talking about chakras. I'm talking about centers.
I mean that area, like, that throat area, like whatever is defined with round color.
Yeah, it's a center.
I mean,
center.
I mean that only, like, I just heard you, I don't know her name. You told her, like, you often go and say something you're not supposed to say. Since the throat chakra is not defined, I mean, throat area is not defined, and you end up doing a mess. If you look at my graph, that part is very much activated.
Okay, let's see.
Check.
So Amrish, do you have a chart? Monica Jain, is that you?
Right, Monica Jain, yes, it's me.
Yes. So yours is defined, yes. So what is your question?
So my question is that now, like, even I do the same thing. Like, I go and give advice out of the blue without being asked. Then I later on regret, like, why did I give the advice?
Brilliant, because you also have a brilliant mind. See how is, okay, it's a beautiful thing actually for you. So if you see your chart, you have a defined ajna center, which is a defined mind.
Okay.
And you have a defined throat center. And you are somebody who has brilliant opinions. Okay,
but the thing is that I always take wrong decisions.
Hear me out. And that is what you need to do. You need to learn to wait.
Okay.
You have a brilliant mind who is so eager to share your opinions. And trust me, those opinions are amazing. You are here to share your opinions with the people, with the world. However, you need to wait for your sacral authority. You have you see the red center?
Yeah.
So that center is your authority, your sacral authority. So you need to wait, connect with your sacral authority, and then respond. There has to be a response when your body says, And remember what is about response with the sacral beings? Let somebody ask you, do you have an opinion on this? And you say, and then you share.
Okay, got it.
And then if you share, you will find satisfaction, which is your theme.
Yeah, okay.
So you have a brilliant mind. Don't ever say anything wrong to your mind, like, oh my God, and I'm giving advices for people and everything, and nobody is listening and meeting resistance. And you have good opinion. Of course it is. It's a brilliant mind. You are here to share opinions.
Yeah. But my question is that, like, whatever I decide for myself, it always turns out to be a mess. I always fail to decide for myself.
Yes, because you're making mental decisions. How are you making decisions?
Actually, basically logical based.
Yeah, because you have a defined mind. It's always churning out, conceptualizing. Oh, this is a brilliant idea. Let's conceptualizing. Let's this. See, your mind is giving you reliable information. However, it has no connection to your decision authority, which means it is not here for you. Your brilliant mind is not here for you. Your brilliant mind is there to guide others.
And one thing more, like even I do take a decision like based on emotions. I'm a very emotional person, a very empathetic also at the same time.
You're not an emotional person.
I am
You're
very
an
emotional.
empathetic. You're not an
Yeah.
emotional person. You're an empathetic person, which means you're picking up emotions of everyone around you.
Absolutely.
And when you're alone by yourself, you'll be feeling very peaceful and calm.
Okay.
Is that correct or not?
But I'm very emotional. I always have tears in my eyes. I get, like.
Because you're picking up you're highly empathic. You have a completely undefined, completely open center, which is not connected with the rest of the body.
Okay.
So which means you're amazingly empathic.
Yeah, I'm very
The way
much.
you can know what anybody is feeling, you will be able to sense people like this guy is angry, and you'll be like, oh my God, this guy is so angry. And he's like, no, I'm not angry. And after 5 minutes, there's a blow up.
Right, right.
This is exactly what happens when you are empathic. However, since it's an undefined center for you, it's completely unreliable for you. So think about it. There's a glass. The glass can have milk. The glass can have juice. The glass can have water.
Okay.
But the glass is a container. You like a container. You can never rely on what is there, the contents of the glass.
Yeah.
So never rely on your emotions. Start checking with your gut feeling. Have people ask you yes or no questions.
Okay. And what about my own decision? Like, I should like.
That's what I'm saying. Your own decisions, you need to consult your gut, your sacral center. Always ask other people, your partner, your friends, or anyone to ask you yes or no questions and start using those sacral sounds. Or
Okay.
Like, would you like to get a reading? Or
Okay, okay. Got it.
Got it?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Amazing.
That indeed was awesome. Amit. That was fantastic. It was
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think me being a generator, I respond to the stimuli outside. For me, it was amazing. I can go on for days like that.
So can we. However, unfortunately, today we won't be able to commit.
Yeah, it's great. It's great knowing about ourselves. It's great knowing about others. Once we start knowing ourselves, then the whole appreciation. Like, I really appreciated each and every caller and connecting them to their true authentic self.
Absolutely.
So brilliant opportunity. Thank you so much. And to all the audience, I'm looking forward to working with you. So go ahead and use this opportunity.
So awesome, Amit. And I am too as well, because I am getting that reading, I'm getting that report, I'm looking at what more can I learn about myself and make my life a lot better. In fact, I do want to share with everybody, there are a couple of options that Amit's given us. One is, you need not go through a 90-minute detailed session of a detailed report that Amit would share. That's the thing that I'm doing. But you do have the option of a quick one, a 20-minute, like a T20 game. Spend 20 minutes with Amit, get to know about yourself, get to understand what strategies, techniques, things that work for you and what doesn't work for you. Even on this call, there's so much insight that Amit shared. It's just brilliant. So
and trust me, Amrish, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Imagine we all are so huge, in our the way we have been living. We are so complex beings. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Absolutely. Yeah, it's the whole journey. It's a whole journey. It takes a lifetime to truly understand who you are. Yeah. However, you can start living once you have a manual like this. You can start living and experiencing your authentic self. It's a brilliant experience. There's nothing more precious and satisfying than this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Amit. What we're going to do is request you to spend some time with us on the Telegram group, so we can get some more readings done. And the options for signing up for a session with you, we will share those also on the Telegram group. So people can check that out. They can sign up if they wish to. And we will see you again soon.
Sure.
Right.
With pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.